Thank you for joining us for the developer update. We will begin in 4 minutes at 1 p.m.
1 o'clock? Good afternoon and welcome to Member Weekend 2020 and to our afternoon developer session. For those of you that participated this morning, thank you very much for your time and your attentiveness to the presentations. If you did participate this morning, you might have noticed I did not get the blue jacket memo. So I'm representing a Saturday afternoon here at Palmetto Bluff in a casual way. We are really excited to be able to spend some time with you virtually. We do truly wish we were in the room and we're able to engage with you face to face, and we look forward to that happening in the future. But we wanted to take some time of yours this afternoon and just give you some quick updates on what's happening since we last spoke in March at the onset of COVID. I did actually tell the team that normally participate in this presentation with me to enjoy their Saturday afternoon. So you just get the joy of my company for the next 20 minutes or so. And hopefully we can share some interesting news and fun news and just continue the process of being transparent to our residents of what's happening at Palmetto Bluff. So just some items that we'll talk about today. We'll talk about the survey. Wanted to give you an update on sales and then revisit the initiatives that we started in 2020 pre-COVID to let you know which items we're able to move forward with. It was really enjoyable today to listen to Henry and Bennett. I have to say, though, I must completely disagree with Bennett when he refers to summer at Palmetto Bluff as a blazing inferno. He clearly doesn't work in real estate sales. And I did spend a break between his session and this session cycling around the village, and I can tell you it's not a blazing inferno. It's absolutely paradise out there. So that was a bad comment from Bennett, I'm afraid. What is really exciting, being highly aware of the effort that has gone in on behalf of the entire associate group here, to see it supported by data, to see how from 2016, and if those of you recall, when I first came on board, I referred to the survey that I saw in 2016 as the worst one I'd ever seen in my career. And it is really enjoyable to see the data support the efforts we know have happened, where all of you now feel, 94% of you now feel that you would recommend this place to others. And we truly, truly value that and appreciate it. And we hope to continue to improve our delivery to you. Community ratings, to have everything above 8.4 out of 10 is really strong. However, this isn't a place where we're just going to sit back and go, check that box, we did a great job. Many of you wrote some really specific comments into the survey, which we asked for, and we really do appreciate that. Our challenge to the Delosier group is to go through all of those and also pair them up to the 18 and the 16 verbatim feedback, and give us a list of common threads that most of the people would like us to address. Obviously, food and beverage, consistency of service, value are really, really important. DRB came out in a few areas. There was requests about lighting pickleball courts and a few other things. So we will capture all of that feedback, create a strategic plan, come to you and tell you what we're going to do, when we're going to do, how we're going to do, and how you can measure what we're going to do. But we really do appreciate your participation in the survey, and it is great to see those results come back. We have been actively investing in Palmetto Bluff. Since July of last year, we obviously brought in 400 new bicycles. We added the forklift in the marina, exciting opening of Melt. It's great to see how many people are enjoying Melt. Did a significant work on the golf course, and I snuck out yesterday afternoon and played a few holes, and it's in perfect condition, which means we're going to aerify it. Normally when you've got a perfect golf course, you punch holes in it. So I know Monday we're going to punch holes in it, but huge kudos to Chris and his team. And then we did get to complete the canoe club resurfacing. And the good news is, I should say the bad news is, as Casey mentioned this morning, we've a significant dip in our income and revenue. However, the good news is we are moving forward with some more projects. We will be enhancing all of the River House pool furniture. That is seriously in disarray and needs some love. It had been scheduled to start this year. It was paused during COVID. We've seen a huge increase in the boat club usage. We've had perfect weather. We've had many of you here staying in place. Jettison and team have monitored what boats are most popular, and we'll be adding boats to the boat club in the coming weeks. And then the canoe club locker room needs some significant love as well. So we'll be renovating that area. Amongst other things, a lot of minor capital Recently, we just added 3 more Peloton bikes. We now have 5. So we continue to add things, and we wanted to share these 3 with you. And as we roll out more, Gray and Leslie and the team will keep communicating to you what's happening. Real estate has been interesting. On March 10th, when we closed the hotel and went into a stay in place, we had 25 developer transactions closed, pending, or reserved from January and February. And we kind of looked into the future and did not know what that was. And we actually ran a worst case scenario that we would do 27 for the full year. Good news is that scenario has been incorrect. We are already at north of $180 million of closed, pending, and reserved inside the gates. And when you look at this graph in front of you, all of the other years are full year. So 2020 is as of yesterday afternoon. So that nationwide flight to quality and safety and sanctuary has positively impacted Palmetto Bluff. Your support, the fact that 94% of you said you'd recommend Palmetto Bluff, have enticed people here. So obviously we are a real estate development company. This adds huge value to your homes and your quality of life. And we're pleasantly surprised and optimistic that we'll maintain this, considering the strange times we live in. That is, as mentioned, 207 actual transactions. And as you can see, that exceeds the highest year ever of actual transactions. And some data behind that, of the 207 transactions, 76% of those our real estate company was involved in. We either sold a developer a lot, or we listed one of your homes or one of your lots and sold them, or a listing that might have been by another company, we brought the buyer. Through our marketing efforts, through your referrals, the buyers come through our space, and 76% of the transactions so far we've been involved in. Our real estate company had 31 new transactions in July. About the 10th of July, myself and Brian were having coffee, and there had been about 2 days that we hadn't sold something, and we thought it was over, but we did 31, and we had not done that since '06. The resale market, which is very important for us as a sustainable community, is really, really tight. There's already been 54 resale homes closed and pending, and there's only 20 available on the market. Considering we now have 700 finished CO'd homes, having only 20 for sale is a significant low number. And our resale home sites are also highly active. 54 have closed and pending, and there's also only 38 on the market. That bodes well for the long-term sustainability of this great place. New home sales at a record level. We have already sold 40 of our builder guild homes, and all but one of those homes sold prior to completion, and many sold actually from plan or when we were just in framing stage. Purchaser demand is seen across the board, both at resale activity, at, as Brian would refer to, the upper level at Palmetto Bluff. So activity is very strong, and interesting enough, as we've deliberately suppressed how many people can stay at the hotel, it has driven rate up. And we've found new people. Our drive market has expanded, and a lot of those people are finding and making their way to our real estate office. So that whole connotation of bringing the right people here at the right time is playing through in our market. As I mentioned, there's 705 CO'd homes as of yesterday in Palmetto Bluff, and there's 209 that are actually under construction or in the design review process. A huge active market. Some interesting things creeping up. We found out last week that lumber has increased 164% in cost because when the COVID started, the sawmill shut down, not anticipating the production needs. So there's going to be a bit of a slowdown and some price creep. So if your contractor is telling you it's gone up in price, we can validate that information for you. Some updates. We started the year out with a list of things we wanted to do. We completed the warehouse in Central Services early in the year. We delivered the ice cream shop. It's still a little bit too close to my office, but I am managing to avoid ice cream every day. As mentioned, we got the Canoe Club pool resurfaced. 145 Old Palmetto Bluff Road is a building that was out near the front gate, which I'll talk about in a few seconds. And then now we are thankfully back in developer investment mode. We're going to continue Moreland Row, which I'll have some images on, and actually all of these items on the list we have some imagery on. As mentioned, out past our gatehouse was a building that the security team used for many years. The building was in significant disarray and needed to be taken down. So it has been scraped, and that area has been returned to a really beautiful, tranquil setting. It's actually, if you stop there and take in those marsh views, it's spectacular. We currently have no plans for that site. I was thinking that if we were in a room together, I'd put up a picture of a drive-through McDonald's and say we're putting one in, but I thought it wouldn't go over well in a Zoom presentation. So you can rest assured that if and when we choose to do something at that site, we will let you know well in advance. But at this time, nothing's going to happen on that site. We'll maintain the parking lot. We know a lot of people use that for ride sharing, so that will be available to our residents on a go-forward basis. M1, which we refer to, which is the beginning of Moreland Forest. This is on the road on the left as you drive to Moreland. And we started that development mid to late last fall. We have already sold, closed pending, and reserved 21 of these lots. And M1 is the curbs are being put in this week. So that will be completed by the end of year, and you will start to see home construction in that area, and will then bring us to our next stages of development. Moreland, we continue to expand in the Moreland area. We've called it L4, it's all the way down Davies Road to that cul-de-sac. There are 3 homes being built down there at the time. If you have a chance to cycle or drive down there, you'll see a lot of activity in that road. And as we come into this fall, we will start what we call L5, which is circling around back up that lake and deliver the lots that you see, including a lot of open space, and continue to connect trails. You may over a few years remember that we've had a presentation where we've talked about a kayak bridge, and that is not a bridge that kayaks go over. It's actually a bridge that kayaks go under, and we currently have put that on pause right now. We're going to focus really on the trail system and revisit that in the near future. Moreland Forest, if you look in the center of this map, you see an area called M2. And as Leslie talked about earlier, all of these slides will go up on the website. I know I'm moving very quickly. If you're taking pictures with them on your phone, you don't have to worry about that. We'll make them all available to you. So if I'm going too quick, I apologize. But M2 will be our next area of development. That is in the center of this map. And it looks like this as of now. We've been working with our land planners, Hart Howerton, who did the original concept plan back in 2000 with Palmetto Bluff. They continue to check in every year. Actually, we have a big visioning charrette with them next week that we're looking forward to. You will see in the top of this slide, the continuation of the inland waterway. So we will start to dig that and maintain and enhance the waterway where you can go on your electric boat or kayak throughout the inland areas of Palmetto Bluff and continue to connect our neighborhoods both by trails, roads, and inland waterways. So this work will commence in the fall, and we will start offering these lots for sale in the spring. And I would assume, based upon the current timetable of permitting and building, homes would probably start there late 21. Moreland Row continues. If you've been to the Bottle Bar, and I know many of you have because I see how much Bob sells, you see the buildings going up. These are a attached product similar to the original Boathouse Row product. 4-bedroom and 3-bedroom central elevators, garage in the rear. Our plan is to do 8 of these. We already have 3 under contract and strong interest in the next 2. So they are moving on quickly. And these are some renderings of how the interiors will look. A really fun product. Unfortunately, we have only a very small space to do these in. They wouldn't work in other areas of Palmetto Bluff, but we will continue to keep you updated as they come onto the market. K6 is our next section of River Road. That is the blue in this map. The team have been in there doing a lot of development. I do know a few weeks ago we were blacktopping the roads, and unfortunately the vendor drove through it and we messed up the other roads which we're dealing with, but we're coming to the end of K6. Heavy vegetation is going in right now, some great park systems, the trail systems, and we'll be able to be backing out of there, and we'll be actively selling, and we'll be less of a disturbance in that area of River Road for those residents living there. We look forward to moving out of your way and allowing you to enjoy your neighborhood around the home construction now that we're finished with roads and sewers. Our road to Anson, we were really excited at the end of last year where we got the ability to put into our financial plan this almost 8-mile road. We did pause this construction and planning and permitting when COVID came on us. We have restarted it. The road will bring us to the marina site where we have a permit to do a 170 slip deep water marina, and all future development of Palmetto Bluff, which includes along the way some new neighborhoods, some new communities, the inland waterway, future amenities like the second golf course and other things. So we're excited that we're starting that road again. And we look forward to that coming to completion so we can truly deliver the promise of that great marina site. And the shooting club, we had hoped to start the shooting club lodge in the spring, and that got postponed. We're happy that we're back starting again. We have pulled the permits. Bart and the team have been very involved. It includes a small lodge clubhouse to replace the temporary yurt that's been there a long time. We'll have obviously office space for the team, great gathering areas for shooters and members, an outdoor patio, fire pit, permanent restrooms, all the things you'd expect. Storage and barn for the team. The interiors are being done by Shelley Williams. Shelley, I forget her last name. Sorry about that. Sorry, Shelley. She does a lot of work with our team and participates in the canoe club renovation. So we look forward to the shooting club enhancement coming to Clubhouse. It also includes the upgrade to the stations. So believe right now we have an AB, it'll add a C station, a second 5 stand, and some other areas of development around the shooting club. So great enhancement for Bart and his team. They've been out in the woods for a long time, and we look forward to giving them and all of the shooters a more permanent home that is a little bit more comfortable in the woods. Storage. A few weeks ago, a month ago, you might remember we asked you about a small survey about storage. That is because we have a wonderful opportunity with a third-party developer who is taking down this piece of land. It's about 11 acres adjacent to our existing base yard and conservancy operations. And they're going to build a state-of-the-art storage facility. It will have both traditional 10 by 10, 20 by 20 air-conditioned, high-touch storage, and what are called contractor space. So potentially a space for dog grooming and other things, sort of what would be referred to as Class C industrial storage. So a really exciting build. The developer is a resident, wonderful partner. Actually, after he did the survey, he connected with some of our members and enhanced their offerings, which, as I mentioned, include traditional climate control storage, ambient drive up, so you can actually drive right up and grab your Christmas tree and then put it up and put it away again. You won't have to leave property to other storage sites to do that. RV and boat storage. I know a number of our residents have RVs, especially this year where they couldn't travel out of the country. I know at least 3 of them that are across the country in various sizes of recreational vehicles, which is quite exciting. So this will be an opportunity to store them. It will have surface parking, sanitary dump, all of the things that you need for RV storage. And a well thought out wine storage. One of our members that participate in the survey has connected with the developer, and they're going to do a climate controlled wine storage, potentially with the ability to accept deliveries of wine. So a great addition to life at Palmetto Bluff and how you live at Palmetto Bluff. And probably like myself, all of us have a storage site somewhere with that extra stuff. Now it won't have to be as far away, and ability for second vehicles and toys to be stored on site. We've spoken a number of times in this presentation, the developer update, about the ability to add wellness, continuing care, memory care at Palmetto Bluff. We are very excited that we have partnered with a developer, the Ramsey Group. Neil and his team are hoping to be here today if we were meeting in person, but unfortunately, again, due to COVID, we chose not to do an open meeting. But we're now settled on the developer, who's the Ramsey Group. They are going to develop a 25-acre wellness campus, hopefully to break ground in early 21. It's planned to have forward-facing services for all of our residents, including concierge doctor, dentist, PT rehabilitation, pharmacy. And they are already speaking to a number of our existing residents about participating in this as service providers. They're really a leader in this space where they would create a destination for people looking for a holistic approach to care that is balanced with innovation and technology. And we're really excited about that. Neil will be here in the coming weeks and months, and we'll set up a series of Q&As with his team. We've already created a very robust set of FAQs related to this that we will post this coming week, and we'll continue to enhance that as we go. And as Neil and his team evolve their plan and their design, they will meet with our residents at every opportunity to make sure that everybody feels comfortable. They are creating, this is the beginning of their vision statement. So as mentioned, a holistic approach, which recognizes every aspect of their campus, residents, guests. There will be independent living and future memory care and continuing care. They really want to pursue this environment where you can live your best life. As mentioned, as you all pointed out in the survey, we're all drawn to Palmetto Bluff because of the sense of place and the land and the history, but also the trails and the activity and the wellness. And this is just another component of you being able to live your best life here at Palmetto Bluff. And as you refer and encourage people to come and live here, this will give them another resource on site. They are highly focused on innovation in this space, and I'm using the word space because they use the word space, but telemedicine, the ability for people to interact with doctors and specialists at any time, 24/7. And then they're very aware and understanding of our community and the connection to the community, the history related to the community, and how people live here and thrive here. And they want to make sure that their approach to that is balanced with that. The original site here was earmarked for commercial development since the beginning of Palmetto Bluff. It was originally a site that could have had 40 acres of development. They have agreed to bring it down to about 25 acres. There will be a very robust landscape buffer all along Old Moreland Road, no less than 150 feet. And then obviously the lake and landscaping on the equestrian side of the lake will also screen this site, so you won't just see a mass of buildings. We are excited that they've engaged Court Atkins, who does lots and lots of great work here at Palmetto Bluff and in the greater Bluffton area, and truly understands low country architecture. So that will be their architecture of note. And these are some initial concept drawings, and they will make sure that they meet, if not exceed, the expectations of what something should look like here at Palmetto Bluff. And there would be residential component. Initially will be some independent living, with the residents of them being able to tap into all of the telemedicine and all of the services provided here. If these residents are fully capable, active, they would be members of the Palmetto Bluff Club and pay all the associated dues and fees just like everybody else here. But when we come to memory care and continuing care, those residents unfortunately would not have that ability to be that active, and they will have internal amenities to service them. So we look forward to this great addition, just enhancing life here at Palmetto Bluff. And we look forward to continue engaging with all of our residents as it rolls out and the plan and the vision and the team come together. We do know that this construction will take away some of the existing equestrian trails. About 3,000 linear feet of trails are impacted about the placement of this site. We've already worked with our engineers, and as we build out this site, we will add actually 6,000 linear feet of trails. So we'll net positive 3,000 more acres, or not acres, excuse me, 3,000 linear feet of trails. So we want to make sure that we don't take anything away that's already existing as we do this development. We continue to work on our farm. It also was placed on pause during the 6 or 8 or 10 weeks of COVID as we kind of watched who we were going to be or what we could do. Ike and Fox continued to plant there, and we've brought tomatoes and kale and other things into our kitchens and spaces. However, in the next month, we'll be announcing our farm manager. And the great news is the person already works here and has a long history of Palmetto Bluff. And we are going to invest in the farm, adding some lawns, restrooms, a small event pavilion, just like we have at Moreland Landing, and really enhancing member and resident engagement at the farm and start rolling out a lot of programs, which we're very, very excited about. And the farm is a little bit lonely right now, but the team are out there. We have planted a large pumpkin patch, and we look forward to, as they come into fruition, of having some pumpkin experiences at the farm. And hopefully we grow enough that our residents can all grab a pumpkin, or if not, we'll cheat and bring pumpkins in from offsite as well. So it's been a while since we spoke. We haven't had the opportunity. I would, again, would love to be in the room with you. We are cautiously optimistic that this trend of people wanting to come and stay here will remain, of people wanting to purchase and live here will continue, so that we can continue to build out this great place and continue to deliver amenities. Very, very proud of the club team and the improvements we've made there. We are the first ones to admit that it takes a village and we have a long way to go. And we look forward to improving every time. We look forward to much more sessions to talk and interact. As always, stop me, Casey, Gray, Dallas, Jay, Charles, anybody, ask us questions. If you want to have a cup of coffee, socially distanced, I'm happy to do it. We've kind of said from the outset of COVID to practice social distancing, but not to distance socially. So please, please, please reach out to us, check in on your neighbors, check in on your friends, and take care of each other. I know that we had a couple of early questions. We had a question related to rental in Moreland. And the question was, when was Moreland designated for short-term rental? Short-term is 30 days or less. The core village of Moreland, and I don't have a map to show this, but the core village had always been designated for short-term rental in Moreland. There is short-term rental in Wilson and its surrounds. So that's Wilson Village, West Wilson, the tennis cottages, and there's short-term rental in the core village of Moreland. We'll get an exhibit that shows the lots that have short-term rental and get it posted on the member website. At this time, we will never go back into a established community and change rental procedures. So if you live in May River Forest or Barnes Landing or River Road or any of the areas that don't have short-term rental, they never will. We may add short-term rental in the marina site. We don't know. The fifth word in our vision statement is evolve. Palmetto Bluff is planned to evolve. We don't know what people will need in 5 years or 10 years. We don't know how people will live. We believe a lot of what we offer here will always stay true, and that's why people are drawn here. So there would more than likely not be short-term rental until we get to the marina site. And the other question that was asked was, currently the 2 pools in Moreland Village are for member only and people renting Montage residences in Moreland. They are not for Montage hotel guests or other short-term rental. That will not change either. It will not be opened up to the greater hotel guest or the greater short-term rental people. That is primarily designated as a member amenity. In fact, moving Leslie and our team over there, we really want to deliver to you a member space. A lot of the member fitness participates there. All of the conservancy programming is happening there. The conservancy classroom, now having the member team in the trail house, really builds out our delivery of spaces to the members. And we'd like you to treat the trail house like your lounge. Feel free to drop in and hang out, wear a mask. We'll always have snacks in there from time to time. They may even have some alcohol and other things, but really the trail house is your amenity and it's staffed by your people. Do we have any more questions?
We do. We have a question from Mr. Rick Cedrone. Will there be townhomes for sale or just a monthly subscription?
Richard, I'm assuming that your question is related to the wellness center, and they are building independent living. They are not a monthly subscription. They will be leased by the developer to long-term residents. So it won't be short-term rental, it won't be overnight rental, it won't be less than 30 days. With this delivery of wellness, independent living, memory care, assisted care, there is a tradition in that industry where people might be in a 4,000 square foot home and want to downsize, and they move into a facility like this and continue to enjoy what they can enjoy based upon their health and wellness. And then should they have the need, they move into other spaces in the campus. So if your question is related to that, I hope that answers your question.
Right, another question. Where would the eventual kayak bridge be located?
So if we go back, excuse me as I flick slides, to Moreland L5 Lake, sorry. There is a, if you go down Davies Road and you look at the lake, wow, it's that far by, right here. There is a jut out of land in this lake, And the idea was to connect a trail system by we've used the phrase kayak bridge, which I know is very confusing, but as a walking bridge that will allow you to cross over to the lake and access the trail system. So that is the location of that bridge.
Mr. Crom asks if we could show the location of the Wellness Center again.
Certainly. The Wellness Center is on the corner of Old Palmetto Bluff Road and Old Moreland Road. And I'm getting to that slide now. There it is there. So it is away from Old Palmetto Bluff Road and into the veg forest there. And again, this site has been identified since 2002 as future commercial development.
Other question? Will the increasing traffic be an issue stressing the road system?
Increase in traffic. Palmetto Bluff is entitled to ultimately have 4,000 home sites. Today we have 1,084 members, so all of those people have bought real estate. So if you're referring to traffic for this site, we believe that most of this site will be internal usage. You may have somebody that is coming in for a doctor's appointment, but we believe that this site will be mainly supported by residents. So a lot of that can be accessed by golf cart. We continue to monitor our roads. Our POA has a strong reserve to take care of significant improvements. Obviously, I think if the question is also related to gate access, we do have a construction access, which is on Walcam land. We continue to discuss with Walcam long-term solutions to that. But our engineers tell us that our road system today is fully vetted for up to 4,000 homes. There will never be 4,000 homes here at Palmetto Bluff. As an example, the hotel site takes up 100 home sites. This campus eats up home sites. So we currently believe as a developer, we may sell 3,500 home sites. And our engineers and the people that originally land planned Palmetto Bluff feel very strongly that the roads system that's currently in place will support that type of traffic count.
Thank you. Ms. Katie Dillard would like to know if there will be additional food and beverage in Moreland.
Aspirationally, yes. We have adjacent to the mailbox in Moreland, there's a really nice lawn. That is actually a commercial pad. One of our original concept plans for Moreland showed a deli restaurant, something there. So yes, when we have enough critical mass, we will deliver that. Or if we had a phenomenal third-party partner that wanted to come in and build a restaurant and operate a restaurant, we would love to see that as well. Not a drive-through McDonald's.
Along with that, Mr. Yulton would like to know what the status of the brew pub development is in Moreland or any other casual dining.
Great question. We're really excited about partnering with Donna Gray and her brewery to deliver a small brewing operation adjacent to Coles. Thank you for reminding me. That is also on pause. We would love to have added it this year, but with everything going on, both the investment and the time, we can't get to it. So as we roll up our 21 plan, we will look forward to revisiting that. We did get all of the licensing. We're actually approved to do it, and we got the permit, and we just placed it on hold.
Mr. Van Den Schoten and another viewer would like to know when the second golf course will be happening or in construction.
We are committed to adding, we are entitled to have 5 golf courses. Back in 2000, golf was king. We are committed to adding a second golf course. Per the membership plan, there's a certain trigger related to round count or actual members. We're not near that trigger, but we believe that we will deliver the golf course prior to ever reaching that trigger. It is in the next series of development, and I'm being deliberately vague because if I tell you we're going to start it next year and I don't, that will be a negative. We have always planned it to begin construction in 23 and be completed by 25. And we are currently on track to that, especially with our current real estate absorption pattern.
Mr. Richards would like you to address the boat club asset additions if planned. So future plans for boat club assets.
Jedison and his team are going to make those recommendations. He has told us that there's demand for more inland waterway, the electric Duffy, and he said that the most popular boat right now is the Centre Council. So if Jedison says he needs 2 Centre Councils, he'll get 2 Centre Councils.
Also, we did just send out a survey to our boat club members to help choose the new boats.
Excellent.
All right, Mr. O'Keefe is asking, will there be a second gate for Anson further moorland areas?
No, there is only one access per our development plan, which has been since 2000. The Duck Pond, where you come across the gate and greet Deb out in the morning, is the only access to land at Palmetto Bluff. We are an island.
Mr. Gantenbean would like to ask, are there long-term plans for future commercial development?
Yes, so as I mentioned, our development agreement allows up to 4,000 home sites. Again, we won't have 4,000 homes. We also have up to 500 acres of commercial development and civic. So there's a great opportunities as Palmetto Bluff continues to gain traction and sustainability to continue to add array of things. We're really excited about these 2 partners that have come forward to do both storage and wellness. In the last year, we've had many people come and say, hey, I'd like to do this, I'd like to do that. And a lot of that is related to your investment, your loyalty to this place has created enough body heat for people to think that they can deliver businesses here. So we are listening. If you have a great idea, if you want to make an investment, come see me. But yes, there will always be great opportunities in the future.
That wraps up our question.
Great. We deliberately ended, excuse me, on a slide of the grace. Sorry. This past week, we lost a great member of our family, Captain Herb, who's been with us for 10 years. And we want to do a little tribute to him. So, get him.
A wooden boat has a special feel, and it's hard to describe. It breathes, it has its own sounds, it has its own role, it has its own character. There's not many of them left in the world here, and it's a privilege and a sense of pride to be a captain, one of the captains on this old vessel here. This is the first time we have addressed the motor as it sits in the boat. We're trying to get fuel from the fuel tank in the stern to the motor here, and then get her cranked up. The key, y'all ready? About that. First crank. That's a good sign. So today we start our journey on a beautiful morning here. 1 year, a few days ago. Yep. Ned and myself traveled up the waterway from Beaufort, South Carolina to Beaufort, North Carolina to this boat yard. And we are very proud of her to be captain. This is a privilege. And we are anxious to get going and take advantage of this window of beautiful weather here. I've been on the water most all of my life here. I've traveled across the oceans, across the Pacific, and across the Atlantic, down to South America, down to New Zealand. To be in my home waters on such an iconic little yacht like this is very special. The folks at Palmetto Bluff are anxious to see the Grace steam back up the May River and take her place at her dock, named the Grace Dock. And a lot of the property owners, as well as the residents of the May River, love to see her traveling up and down, which they have missed in the last year. And it will be quite a homecoming for her when she does arrive at Palmetto Bluff, with hoopla and fanfare by the property owners at Palmetto Bluff. And we look forward to that day when we pull back up to the Grace Dock at Palmetto Bluff.
Thank you. Good job. Casey, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Safe trip. Enjoy your traveling. You did a great, really great job.
I'm going to plug, right?
Leave with
I'm
that.
going back.
I won't bother you this week.